day, everyone. This is Tomorrow's Opportunities, inspiring you to act. This is another session of True Life Inspirational Stories. My name is Deborah Olukemi Suleiman. This session is about bringing in wonderful, lovely guests in the house to tell us and to describe to us how they have taken actions in one way or the other during the course of their life to move from where they used to be to where they are now. And I'm so excited this afternoon. I'm so happy. I have a beautiful guest, a lovely sister, a darling sister in the house. Sister Buki, can you please introduce yourself to everyone? Thank you.
Hello, Abike. Thank you so much for having me on your program, on your blog site. I'm excited to be here. When you told me about it, I felt just to let you know that you're doing something great, something fantastic. Your platform, obviously, it's going to impact lives, one way or the other. So I'm really happy to be here. I'm happy to be a part of your journey. Tomorrow's Opportunities, is that what it's called? Yeah. So I am happy and excited to be on your blog. All right, so my name is Buki Oyegbola. I'm a mother, I'm a wife, got 2 children, 2 daughters. I used to run a lettings property management business. I think I ran that for quite a few years. I would say maybe about 10 years or thereabout.
Wow.
And at the moment, I sort of do freelance consulting. So where you have landlords and tenants that may need some advice on property management, tenancy, sort of how to create contract between themselves and their tenants, their obligations. I could sort of hold them by the hand, guide them through, sort of knowing all the kind of the laws, the legislations, the obligations of landlords and how best to maintain their properties. So I basically cover all of that. So at the moment, I'm into freelancing. And like I did say, where we can actually provide advice, support, and kind of help landlords to best manage their properties. The same thing with tenants as well. Tenants who are probably threatened with evictions, who are not well treated by their landlords, they do come to us, and then we can see what we can do by also providing them support as well. So because I have a legal background, I studied law, but I decided to specialize in property management and lettings, and I've done that over so many years. So we have decided now to sort of venture into consultancy, and that is basically what we do. Yeah, so that's pretty much it.
Oh, wonderful. Thank you so much. That's awesome. Wonderful tasks you are doing there and a wonderful work you are doing for the community and the society.
Thank you
for sharing. Thank you. Okay, we're going straight to the question. The first question, can you briefly, please, share a turning point in your life? What prompted you and helped you to move from where you used to be to where you are now?
So what I said, that there was a time when I decided to go back to university, to go back to school to study law. And how that came about was that my mom one day said to me, she felt that I would do well if I went and studied law. And I didn't want to, because at the time I was working. We had 2 young kids, 2 young daughters, and I honestly didn't see myself going back to university at all. So it was just a matter I wasn't ready to consider. However, though, I thought about it and I felt, you know what, it's adding value to me. And I just felt, you know what, it's maybe something I could consider. So I did go back, and I did it part-time for 4 years. Now, in that time, our kids were quite young. And so, of course, it was just my husband working. And it was quite a challenge for us to try to find childcare for our kids while I was going to school in the evenings, and to find where to put the kids. So then I decided within when I then decided to go back to university, I just decided, you know what, I'll register as a childminder, and then I'll be able to provide sort of like childminding services from my home. That way, it gave me the opportunity to be able to be with my kids, to be a stay-at-home mom, as it were, and also to pursue the law degree. And so, of course, when I completed the degree, I realized that law helped me to see life from a different perspective. It kind of equipped me with the ability to think outside the box. And not just that alone, but also to look inward and see what I could actually do with that acquired knowledge. So that was the time I decided to go into housing law, something to do with properties, to do with property advice, property management. And honestly, I can say that that particular turning point did help me, because one thing that I didn't mention that I was able to do whilst I was in uni, providing childminding service, was being able to spend time with the family, on top of that, earning an income to support the home. So that was a positive. But on the long run, it meant that I had all the skills and I could decide to specialize doing one particular thing. And that has actually worked out for me. So I would say of all the other things, of all the other turning points, that has been quite special, So yeah, I would say that has been a turning point, and that's what I've actually benefited from it, and still benefiting from it.
Oh,
so yeah.
What a wonderful story, and mommy's intervention in this decision. Thank you so much.
Absolutely.
That was lovely, and I can see it. I would have imagined how the journey had been then with the young kids, and how everything has turned out well for now, because I can see the sacrifice you had made in taking care of the family too, and at the same time getting a qualified degree. So much for sharing with us. We really appreciate that. Thank you very much. Yeah, we're moving straight to our second question. What do you usually do to revive back your motivation when you are losing it, your momentum, your zeal, when they go down or when they get broken? Thank you.
Okay. All right. I think for me personally, when I feel that I need to be motivated, or maybe just get myself back into the groove, I love to go and window shop.
Wow.
Being around where people are, doing something different, just seeing beautiful things, wandering into stores, looking around, admiring things. It just eases me. And when I get to that place, I'm able to then get the motivation to maybe do something else. I can think clearly, just wander around and look at what's there, take all that in. I love the energy there. And so what I do that, and I also tend to go for walks as well. So sometimes maybe I've probably been in front of the computer, been doing the same monotonous thing for a while. I'll just up and just go for a walk, That also helps to revive me. And going for walks, sometimes you're sort of like lost in that space where you can think of different ideas, It gives you the opportunity to have a clear mind, so you can think of different things. You can you can have inspiring thoughts. You can, you can think of things.
Wonderful. In fact, when you're talking about window shopping, I can just imagine the type of energy I too get when I am walking around the store, checking things, not necessarily buying it.
What we ladies are like, we like to, for some ladies, that's just a therapy for them, just to go out shopping.
Yes. It's very, very.
So it's like good therapy. It's refreshing.
Yeah. That was nice. And I also agree with you. The walking, it's so powerful. I do it too when time permits. In fact, during the week, I try at least 3 times in a week. I try to take a short walk And it's very, very refreshing, just like you said. You get new ideas, you think of things, you just get to, in fact, you can solve some problems while.
Absolutely. Absolutely. Yeah, I do agree. I agree with you. Yeah, it's a good one.
Yeah. Thank you very much. Thanks for that.
No.
We're moving fast. Next question. 2 things you do consistently, regularly, that have helped you along the way, and you still do them today.
Okay. I think I do quite a few things quite often. But one thing I think I find myself doing a lot, or I enjoy doing, and I do quite consistently, is I love to do online research. I love to go online and just look up things. So say for example, there is a news that has come out there, and I feel I want to sort of like investigate more into the news. For example, what's going on in Nigeria in terms of what happened with NSAS last year, all the killings, police brutality, and all that's ongoing out there. I'm the kind of person, when I hear things like this, I tend to kind of do some research, investigate it more. And also, maybe because of what I do in terms of property management, I sort of like to keep abreast of that particular industry. Any changes to policies affecting properties, affecting lettings, affecting tenancies. I like to sort of like know what those things are beforehand, you know. So I tend to get quite inquisitive, so to speak. So I do a lot of online research. And then sometimes I sort of like visit people's blog sites. Anything that could just interest me, you know, I will just go online and I'll find out more about it. So I find myself doing those things quite often, you know. So another thing I like to do, I love cooking, you know. I love cooking. And so an interesting thing is that my daughters do like cooking. In fact, my younger daughter loves cooking a lot. So she's sort of like taking after me. Some years ago, I used to love being creative with cooking and baking as well. You know, so when I do get bored sometimes, I could be in the kitchen all day. To be honest, I could go shopping, come back, I'm not tired. And I'll just go straight to the kitchen and I'll just start to, you know, rustle up all kinds of meals, you know, because for me, that is also like therapy. Apart from going window shopping, cooking is also something I do like to do. So I find myself doing those things quite often. However, though, I don't do it as much as I used to, you know, because I don't know, maybe because in the kitchen, I find my daughter sort of like competing with me now for space in the kitchen.
How can you imagine?
Yeah. So, yeah. But those are the 2 things I know. Apart from other things I do, those 2 things I know I consistently do.
Well,
yeah.
That's wonderful. That's awesome. I can see the lawyer in you, in your research and trying to get things and information on online regularly. Yeah, I can see that. That's nice. and you made me to remember that lovely meal we were served when we visited last time. Oh, that was where my mind went straight to when you started talking about cooking. It was in your house that I first ate shaki and these fat pomo focoso stuffs in the country.
Really?
You know, I was telling you then.
So there you go, trying to impress you as well, to sort of like make you know that the things you used to get in Nigeria, you can get here.
Yes.
You know, so probably trying to impress.
Which was very nice.
So that you say, you know what, Nigeria too.
You did. It's really, you really did impress us. It was very, very lovely. Thank you very much for that. That was brilliant. That was awesome. I'm so glad your daughter is also taking after you. You made me remember my daughter too. She's also, we're always competing in the kitchen. So sometimes I just have to give her space and just do your own thing and before I can come in.
Well, that's the way to encourage them. So when they have those sort of skills and they're interested in it, you might as well just support them. But sometimes what I find happening sometimes is after all the cooking has been done, then the tidying up, clearing up, the cleaning up, So that is the interesting bit. But I always say, you know what, if you can cook it, you must be up here. Is it?
It's the same.
Oh my goodness. There you go.
I hope one of these days they'll get better at it, hopefully.
Of course. They will.
Yeah.
They will.
Thank you very much. Thanks for sharing that. Yeah. Our next question, what is your understanding of a coach, a mentor or mentor? Have you had one before and what did you gain?
Okay. I have never had a coach before. I don't have a mentor now, but there are some people who have played very positive roles in my life. For me, I consider those people, or I rate them very highly because they've had a positive impact, And so I've sort of like gleaned from what they have, the value they have kind of imparted in my life, But when you say a mentor can be anybody who sort of like is a role model to you, who hold themselves in very high regard or hold themselves very highly, and they sort of like have a very high responsible role they play in your life. And so there are people that you can look up to, people who can counsel you. So it could be your mom, your dad, your teacher, your spouse, So, and I feel that mentors actually play a positive and a key role in people's life, especially young people. We have some young people who actually need mentoring. And sometimes it's probably okay to say, if you feel there's something you can do or give back to the young generation, then you can put yourself forward as a mentor, just to sort of like guide them, counsel, and sort of like align them right and sort of like position them in the right direction. So for young people, for me, I would say that if I feel there's something I can give back to the young community, I can put myself forward to mentor some young people. But for me, there are people who have played a key, like I did say, a key role in my life, and I would consider those people great people that have made immense impact, and I have learned from them, and whatever it is that they have deposited in me, I am still benefiting from even till today, So, but at the moment, I can't say I have a mentor in my life, but I have great people that have been a part of my life. Yeah.
Wow, that was wonderful. That was straight to the point. I love the way you just said. Mentors can be either our parents, our spouses, or whoever that had impacted us in a good way in life. Yeah, I totally agree with that. That's just straight to the point and a simple way. And I love the fact that you also talked about we putting ourselves forward to serve as a mentor to others, especially the young ones, which is something that unconsciously, normally we might not really think towards that way. And maybe I just want to mentor someone, or I need to be someone's mentor. But in our action, in taking action and putting ourselves forward, we could find ourselves doing a greater role, like a mentor, a coach, or something, to others. Thank you for that.
Absolutely.
I'm taking that.
You're welcome.
from you this afternoon. That was brilliant. That was brilliant.
Okay.
Thank you. Yeah. Our next question.
Thank you.
Please, can we just take a glass cup of water?
Absolutely.
Weather over here is quite sunny.
Weather like this, although it can be uncomfortably hot.
After some time.
It can be. Yeah, but I prefer it when it's sunny to when it's very cold.
Yeah.
You know. So yeah, it can be lovely. It can be lovely when it's nice and sunny.
Yeah.
And it just livens up everywhere, you know. It makes you want to be outdoors.
Yeah.
You know, it makes you smile more.
Yes, yes. Yeah, it improves our moods.
It does. And it does good thing to your skin as well. It makes your skin glow.
Yeah.
Just like I can see your skin is glowing at the moment.
Wow.
I can see you glowing.
Oh, thank you. Like yours. I want to be like you. I'm always so excited when I see that. Oh, it's going to be a sunny day. It's very, very wonderful. Thank you very much. Our next question. Do you have a favorite author or any type of book you have read, and why did you like it?
I don't actually have a favorite author. I don't. But there's a particular book that I read, and the title of the book is The Richest Man in. I can't remember the name of the author now, but it is such a good book. And what the book talks about is how you can use money, or how you can use money as a tool, and how to be wise, you know, when money actually comes into your hands, how to see it as a tool and how to utilize it as a tool. And I find out that a lot of the time, or rather what the book actually helps you to also understand is when, for example, you earn an income and you don't sort of have the consciousness or the mindset to think about investing or setting money aside over time to invest. So by doing that, you're using the money as a tool to acquire some investment that can actually yield returns for you, you know, at a later date in the future. So for example, some people who earn an income may not consider investing in things like stocks. It talks about the benefit when you get an income one way or the other in the long run that could be then useful for you, sort of like turning it around, investing it, and then at some point it's beneficial to you, it works for you. And I find out that after reading the book, in fact, I gave it to my daughter to read as well, because you know you have young people sometimes who, when they earn some money, and they're only thinking about buying clothing, buying shoes, and there's nothing wrong with that at all. But to have that consciousness and mindset that not everything that you earn, you spend and you use up completely, but to have the mindset that you need to save some aside or set some aside or to invest something. It doesn't matter how very little it is, but you try to look for something you can invest in. So it's so simplistic, but at the same time, it really drives to the key point of how you see money and how you can best use it, you know, to your advantage. So very good book. And it was one of the books I read and I thoroughly enjoyed.
Wow, that's a lovely book. And it sounds so insightful. Handling money and knowing how to wisely use the money. It's something that we don't learn this in school, but the way you are talked about it now, it shows it's a very powerful and a very, very good book. Thank you very much.
Yeah.
Wow, that was.
You're welcome.
The next question is, how do you unwind?
All right. I love my beauty sleep.
We are together.
Yeah, I love my sleep. That's one, because I find it very refreshing. I feel that, it is what it is. You just have to try and calm down.
Yeah.
So that's one of the ways, by which I unwind. Another way I unwind is I love to watch documentaries.
Wow.
A lot. Yes. So there are quite a few documentaries I watch on Netflix, or sometimes I go on YouTube.
Wow.
And I may just decide to watch any documentary. It could be about there was one particular one that I watched about how Nigeria was actually going back in time to when Nigeria was made a state by the colonial masters, and at the time, and looking at our culture, looking at the empires, the kingdoms, the kingdoms that were independent kingdoms and empires at the time before we had Nigeria. And I kind of enjoyed watching that documentary because there's only so much you could. I was taught when I was in Nigeria, when I did history or social studies, So those are kind of documentaries sometimes I do like to watch, quite insightful and something that sort of like educates you. Also, I like to watch Nollywood movies as well.
Okay.
I'm a Nollywood fan.
Wow. I love that.
Yeah, Nollywood fan, so I do watch a lot of Nollywood movies and, supporting our people, supporting their creativity, their talents, So I like and I love watching Nollywood movies. So those are the ways by which I tend to unwind.
Wow, that's wonderful. That's lovely to support. Well, I love that Nollywood. It's been a while since I watched some, but I watched one of recent, which made me remember quite a lot and said, oh, I've really been missing some of these lovely Nollywood movies. And I like the way you put it, to support our people back home. That's very, very true. That's very nice. I think documentaries, my son and my husband are so big fans of documentaries, but I agree with you. They're quite a lot of them that are very, very knowledgeable and insightful, because when I walk in and I just sit down with them, and the few ones I've watched, they're quite very, very nice. And you get a lot of good histories and stuffs with things happen before now. Yeah, that's good. Thank you very much. That was wonderful. That was wonderful. Our final question for today is, if you have any word of inspiration, maybe one, what will it be?
Any word of inspiration. Okay. So I wouldn't say one word. I probably would say just a few words.
Please go ahead.
I would say, intentionally loving yourself.
Wow.
Doing so much. So let me speak for myself. Maybe as a mother, we've got so many caps that we wear, and we're juggling different balls at the same time. And sometimes we don't actually give attention to ourselves, to love ourselves, or to have self-care, because we're busy looking after so many other things, looking after so many other people. So we give very little attention to ourselves. So I feel that sometimes you have to intentionally take time out, consciously set time aside, and making an ongoing thing to just love on yourself. And be less hard on yourself. Don't be too critical of yourself. Pamper yourself. See the positivity in you, and give a lot of credit to the things that you have done. Affirm yourself and treat yourself. Tell yourself beautiful things. And things that, because nobody is going to no matter what people tell you, if they tell you you're great, you're wonderful, you're all of that, if you don't believe those things, then it's really not worth it. So you need to say to yourself and believe those things. So that's all part of self-love and self-care. So, and it has to be intentional. So intentionally loving yourself, I feel, is so important.
Wow. Thank you very much. Yeah. This wonderful advice. We really need to keep intentionally loving ourselves, no matter where we are in the journey. We do quite a lot. We should reaffirm ourselves. I love the way you have put the words together. We should reaffirm ourselves. We should keep telling ourselves, and we should keep intentionally love ourselves. And that can be in different ways that we can really show ourselves love. Thank you very much for this wonderful advice and inspirational interview.
You're welcome.
It's just like relax. I think we should just continue this gist, and I should keep looking at your face. But we have to go.
We have a wonderful time.
Oh,
have a lovely time. Honestly.
Thank you very, very
great.
Much. Thank you for honoring this little opportunity and coming to make us great. Thank you very much. We are honored, we are blessed, we are glad to have you. And all the wise, wonderful advice and word of inspiration you have shared with us. I believe we have all learned quite a lot in this interview. On this note, we say thank you once again, and it's going to be bye-bye for now. Thank you so much. Thank you. Bye-bye.
Thank you for you take care. God bless. Bye-bye.
Bye-bye.